Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives. From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and you're watching a very, very special edition of Chautauqua Sunrise this morning. We're actually in the past at the moment. We are pre-taping this show, so you are watching it in the future. And this will not be a call-in show, so this is pre-taped. So as much as you want to call in and tell me how wonderful you're enjoying the show, you're just going to have to send me an email. Hope you're doing well and that we're having a great start to our fall. It's the first week in the fall. And a lot of things going on in Chautauqua County, as we always talk about. But before we do that, I want to say good morning to everybody around the world that's watching, folks in the Ukraine, across the United States, down in Florida. I hear California watches it too, up into Michigan, all across Chautauqua County. And especially good afternoon to my listeners on WRFA 107.9, low power to the people. Thanks for joining us. Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Today is going to be a musical edition of the show, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that here in a minute. So remember, even though we are taping, you still can send in your announcements that you often do over to me or through the studio at chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. Or I suppose people do this. You can give us a call at 716-753-5225 and leave a voice message, and we will be sure to get your message on the air the following week. All right, so today you're watching us on September 24th. Now, if you can't watch the whole show today, remember we're on Access Chautauqua, channel 1301 on Spectrum every single day at 2 and 8 throughout the week, and you can catch us on YouTube or Facebook as we go along. All right, we don't have a lot of announcements today because we're going to spend a lot of time playing some music and talking to you about things. So I want to share with you an event that's taking place today, September 24th. And it is, and we talked about this last week, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Okay, in Chautauqua County, they're leading the way for Alzheimer's first survivor by participating in the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's. Their walk for 2022 is October 1st. So I think I said the walk is today. No, it's not. It's next week. Here I am talking in the past for the future. So today is something different. So October 1st, next week, at the lovely Point Gratiot Park in Dunkirk, New York, on the shores of Lake Erie. It's a beautiful place with great walking paths and panoramic views for the walkers. Alzheimer's disease affects not only those who suffer from the disease, but their families and caregivers and the community as well. You may even know firsthand the heartache of caring for a loved one as they slowly slip away from you. We hope to bring the community together to support and celebrate with people living with Alzheimer's or dementia. Applaud families that care and nurture and praise a community that helps. The Alzheimer's Association believes no one should face Alzheimer's disease alone, especially during difficult times like these. And every walk to End Alzheimer's features a promise garden. The promise garden is an emotive visual presentation of colored flowers. Walkers can choose the color that best represents their situation. These flowers are planted at the walk for all to see and be inspired. Please consider starting up a team to participate or join a team. We could welcome you to do so. Let's grow some Chautauqua County teams, plant some members, start your bloom. Blue represents someone living with Alzheimer's or another dementia. Purple is for those who have lost someone to the disease. Yellow is for those currently supporting or caring for a person. Orange is for those who support the cause and the association's vision. We all have colors in this walk. In October, we will walk to honor 6 million Americans living with Alzheimer's, their 11 million caregivers, and those we have lost to the disease, while raising awareness and funds to advance care, comfort, support, and research efforts of the Alzheimer's Association. Every dollar raised helps to provide vital programs and services to those facing Alzheimer's. A week ago, you saw on the show here Dana Corwin, who was the 2022 chairperson for the walk. And if you have any questions, you can give her a call at 753-4876. All right, and we have a personal interest today because our band, the Midnight Growlers, will be playing there from 2 to 12 I just said that backwards, from 12 to 2 in the big pavilion, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. So that's all I have right now for announcements. We're going to have a public service announcement right now, and then I'm going to introduce you some really cool friends of mine. Stay tuned.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
We're back. Folks, it's my pleasure today to introduce to you the guys that I hang out with every single week, it seems, for going on 3 years now. And we've rebranded ourselves and call ourselves the Midnight Growlers. So let's do a wide angle here, and I'm going to introduce everybody real quick, and we'll get to a little bit of interview. Right next to me is my pal, Randy Henderson.
Morning, Doc.
And next to him is Bob Henry. And on the end, hey, Howard Peacock, our drummer. So I thought before we get to some music, we talk a little bit about the band and so forth. We're going to be playing the Alzheimer's Walk on October 1. But this week, today, that we're taping, we're going to be in Ripley, right? And we're going to be in the park right near Meters, and we're going to be playing for a car show. So, Bob, what do you think? You ready for it?
Yes, sir.
Bob and I scoped out the situation the other day, and it should be absolutely gorgeous there. We're going to be up by the monument, and all the cars are going to be down in the valley near the school lawn there and stuff. So let's start with Howard on the end. I'll pick on Howard. Howard, how long have you been playing drums?
Well, I think I was like 12 years old.
12 years old. So
when I asked my parents for drums for Christmas, and they got me a snare drum.
You got to start somewhere, yeah.
Been playing around with it ever since.
So a few years.
A few years, yeah. Yeah. With a few breaks in between here and there.
And you've been
but
playing, and you played in various bands, like most of us, right?
Yeah, probably about 8 different bands over the
Bands.
years.
Okay. What was the last band you played with? Not us, but before us.
I played with Southern Tier Express for probably about 5 years.
Yep, I remember them.
And there was another band after that I played with for a short amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Society.
Okay.
And I played with them for, I don't know, about a year or so.
Great. Well, you know, we were playing 3-piece there for a while, and having you come into the group, I think has really made a big difference. You know what you guys think?
Great.
So glad to have.
I've been enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, we've been knocking off the dust on some of our instruments, so it's been great. So you've been at this for a long time like me. All right, next guy, Bob Henry. Bob, how long have you been playing guitar? Were you born with a guitar or what?
You know, I started, I'm going to say junior high, somewhere around there. And of course, that's where I met Howard. And Howard and I played together during high school.
Did you?
Myself, Howard, Billy Ward, and a couple other friends, you know, back in the day. And that was my start.
Okay. And that's been a few years. So why do you keep doing this?
You know, here's, I guess my story is for several years, my guitar sat under my bed and I didn't touch it for years. And along with the whole idea that I had some really good friends, Billy Ward, Mike Gearhold, Bob Campbell, that just are certainly my local guitar heroes.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just like, I just had this idea that I really wanted to do this again. And, you know, with their help and support and you guys' help and support, why, here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
And we're all retired. That's always a good thing.
That was a big benefit.
You know, and I just finished an article in Silver Magazine. You know what I'm talking about this month. And I talk about a lot of guys our age had their kids, they've grown up, the kids are gone, and now we get back to that guitar that's sitting under the bed or in the closet or that drum that's up and over the garage, and you get back to it. It's a good thing, isn't it?
Well, and you know what it is? It keeps us thinking, it keeps us moving, it keeps us together, and the camaraderie about it is just
playing the band is a
fun.
really exceptional
Yep.
experience. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Randy. Randy, what's your story?
Well, I'm the outlier here.
Yeah, you are.
I've never played an instrument. Well, I take that back. I tried to play trumpet, and I think the band director kicked me out in like 7th or 8th grade, whenever it was. But I did a lot of singing and chorus and musicals back in high school, and really hadn't done anything since. And my story is, Bob was playing at Big Inlet. We had engaged Bob to do our open mic, and I said, Bob, have you ever heard this song by this band? And he said, no. I said, well, you should listen to it and do it. And he says, well, I'll listen to it, but you got to sing it with me. And
that's your
so
fate.
that was 3.5 years ago or so, and I was rusty and terrible, and Bob put up with it and kept egging me on and kept pushing me to do some things. And 3.5 years later, here I am.
Here you are.
We're singing. I'm having fun. This is definitely the highlight of my week every week when we get together and practice. Great friends, camaraderie.
We laugh a lot too.
We laugh a lot. We have a good time, and I found it to be a really, really great thing to get into and to sing and have some fun.
Okay. Well, you know, I thought let's do a song, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit about other things that we do. Okay.
And what's your story, Doc?
What's my story?
Yeah.
Oh, my story goes back to the obviously, like a lot of people
Not the Stone Age.
watching. No, not the Stone Age, but the Rolling Stones, the Beatles. You know, when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I was like 14 or something like that. So I've been playing guitar for over 55 years or whatever it was, and I've been in, like you said, 8 bands. I've been in 14 different bands, and I never stopped. I just every decade I played somewhere along the line with somebody, and I'm one of the few that kept going. I don't know. It's just one of those things, like you said, Bob. It just gets in your blood, and it percolates, and you won't let you go. So welcome aboard, Randy. So, Bob, what are we gonna do?
Well, I've always been a little bit of a fan of Marshall Tucker band.
Okay.
So I think you guys want to try that?
We'll try it. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Tucker.
This is called Fire on the Mountain. We hope you enjoy this, folks.
took my family from my Carolina home. Had dreamed about the West, I started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say it's heaven's and so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. Rolling hills, it's waiting for me there. We were digging and sifting from 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Go for free like the whiskey in the bar. Said it was a big thing, Lord, Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. Rolling hills, waiting for me there. Then tall girls with the evening street, cartridges and bloodline, the gutters of that street. Men were shot down for the sake of fun, or just to hear the noise of 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. Golden hills, waiting for me there. How my widow, she weeps by my grave. It's so free for me, she couldn't say. Shot down in cold blood by gun that carried fame. All for useless and no good, worthless flame. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. Golden hills, waiting for me there. Fire on the mountain, lightning in the air. Golden hills are waiting for me there. It's waiting for me there. It's waiting for me there. It's waiting for me there. Come on now.
Howard, you're missing your full drum set.
Yeah, I'm on light duty.
Light duty. Well, you know, we can only do so many drums in the studio here, so
Yeah.
we're missing a little bit of those rolls and that. So, Bob, what kind of music would you say the Midnight Growlers do?
Boy, that's a good question. We got quite a combination of stuff. We're doing bluegrass. We're doing I would say some kind of rocky stuff now, and certainly some I guess you'd call it Americana. I don't know, something like that.
Right.
We've got a couple songs from local artists that we're doing that I think,
including one of mine,
including one of yours, and which surprising. It's surprising how many good local artists and writers there are, and so with their blessings, we're able to do a couple of their songs.
Mm-hmm. So, Randy, you said that you were sort of the outlier. What have you learned since you've been in the band?
Well, first of all, I've learned how darn hard it is
It's a lot of work.
to be good.
Yeah.
And I've also learned that it takes trust amongst us to put yourself out there and be willing to make the mistakes. It's a very intimate thing when you're getting together and you're trying to figure out harmonies, and it's terrible, and it gets worse, and then all of a sudden it gets better. And when it gets better and you do it right, we take a look at each other with that big smile, and I've learned that it's just really rewarding, but it takes a lot of trust, I think, at least for me, a lot of trust between
I've
us.
said this to you a lot, is that you're out there without an instrument. The three of us have an instrument we can kind of keep the beat to, or we know where we are, where you're floating in space. So, that's pretty difficult, I think.
Just Bob's after me to learn how to play something. He keeps after me. He says, "When are you going to learn how to play the bongos or the bass?" So one of these days, we'll surprise you guys.
Well, it's hard to keep a full band together. So, and as people want to keep increasing who's there, it's like never ending, brass section and keyboards and bass. I mean, everybody dreams of it, but that's a lot of time and money and trying to get people's schedules together. Look how difficult it is just for the four of us to find a common thing every week. Mm-hmm. So, all right, so we got another song here, and Bob, I'll let you introduce us as well, because you're kind of the one that brought this song to the group, as I recall.
Well, I brought this song to the group because, for one thing, it's a really good song. It's a song written by one of our local songwriters and performers, Steve Spears, from the, I'm going to say, Fredonia area, and Steve, we met Steve back when we were doing open mics, and certainly with Mike Gearhold, and Steve's a fun act to listen to, and Steve has got more songs written than you can imagine. So it's fun to be able to
do one of the songs, yeah.
Perform.
So what's the name of the song?
Pardon me?
What's the name of the song?
Tavern by the Tracks.
Okay. And this is a real story, right?
This is a real story about a tavern in Forestville, and apparently, I'm going to guess, Steve's dad drank there, and he drank there too.
It's a family matter.
I think that's a pretty good guess, Bob.
But we write about our lives. We write about the things that we know, and I don't care if it's the Beatles or it's the Midnight Growlers. You write about what you know. Mm-hmm. So, all right, should we do it?
Well,
all right, let's get started here.
Absolutely.
By Steve Spears, right?
Steve Spears.
Okay.
Spears. Just standing on that corner, the train went by, and it's still can hear their whistle call. I daddy drank here, and daddy drank here too. Now it's my turn to call this place home.
Well, the bar stools are empty, there's no one left around. Ain't drinking by myself, but I'll have another round. You're still standing on that corner, tavern by the tracks. I guess I'll sit there drinking till that train comes back. Yeah, I guess you'll sit there drinking till that train comes back.
That jukebox is playing that Willie Nelson song. Bartender said, "Hey, won't you have another round?" My friends are mostly gone off to cities, other towns. They left their regrets at the Buffalo Lies they had found.
Now the bar stools are empty, there's no one left around. Ain't drinking by myself, but I'll have another round. You're still standing on that corner, the tavern by the tracks. I guess I'll sit there drinking till that train comes back. Yeah, I guess you'll sit there drinking till that train comes back. Take it down. Well, the bar stools are empty, there's no one left around. Ain't drinking by myself, but I'll have another round. You're still standing on that corner, the tavern by the tracks. I guess I'll sit there drinking till that train comes back. Yeah, I guess you'll sit there drinking till that train comes back.
That glass is almost empty, that's just the way it goes. Gotta go on living that life you have chose. We're getting old, oh hell, we're getting older too. The tracks are gone and that train ain't coming through.
Well, the bar stools are empty, there's no one left around. Ain't drinking by myself, but I'll have another round. You're still standing on that corner, tavern by the track. I guess I'll sit there drinking till that train comes back. Yeah, I guess he'll sit there drinking till that train comes back.
I guess I'll sit there drinking the train
comes back.
So that's a little different than the first song. The first song is a little about kind of a southern rock kind of a thing.
Yep.
And this one's probably a little bit more bluegrassy country, would you say?
A little bluegrassy, a little country, a little storytelling.
I just think it's fun.
It is a great song.
Well, thank you, Steve Spears, for that. I'm going to do a little tune-up here, real check. And so, Howard, what's your favorite kind of music?
Oh, I play all kinds. I played a lot of country over the years, but I think I was born and raised on rock and roll.
When you say rock and roll, what do you mean by rock and roll? Like, name a couple bands.
Oh, I'm a fan of ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner and things along that sort. I've played a lot of country in the past, and there's a lot of country music that's really good. Blues, I enjoy blues. Stevie Ray Vaughan. And,
There we go, yeah.
Likes of that.
Okay. And Bob, you seem to be, well, I kind of think of you as a southern rocker. Would you say that's true?
To an extent, but you know, there is no music I shouldn't say no music, but there's very little music that I don't like. I mean, it can be anywhere from good old-fashioned one man and a guitar blues sitting on a front porch to, you know, to yes, to you know, I don't know, it's same deal, you know, the Outlaws, the you know, just you know.
We've been doing some newer stuff, not new stuff to us, but Neil Young and some Rolling Stones, and you know, and we're going to do a song later today by the Grateful Dead, you know, and I think music, it goes by periods and different sounds and things, but it seems like some of that music's coming back. I mean, I was in my last show, I was talking about the Beatles. People are back into the Beatles a lot, and you're seeing a lot of that nostalgia and stuff. And we do some Beatles stuff, right?
We do Beatles.
Howard can't wait till we do Here Comes the Sun, right? We're not going to do that today, folks, but we do it, and that's a challenge. You know, when we realized that the Beatles were masters at what they did.
Very much.
They, you know, they started imitating everybody else, but then they went woo on their own. And then, Randy, you have a little different taste than some of us.
I mean, I'm like Bob. I'm all over the place. There's very little that I don't like, but I kind of grew up with, Bob mentioned one, you know, Yes, Pink Floyd, Supertramp were my go-tos. But I liked groups like Chicago. Loved Chicago back in the day. So I'm a little bit all over the place, and over the years, my tastes have grown and expanded. I really like a lot of the, I'll say, local music. Like a lot of the local bands, like Smile and the Ghost. I like down in the Buffalo, out of the Ithaca area. A lot of that type of music. So it's really, there's not much bad music. Music is a good thing.
And you know, here we are in our silver years. I don't know what to call them, veteran years. And we've opened for some bands, right?
We have.
We've had a good fortune to open for some, what I would consider younger bands in some cases. So Bob, who do we open for? I'm trying to remember all the bands.
Well, we've opened for the Probables. We've opened for
Osborne Nash.
Osborne Nash.
Did we open for Uncle Ben's Remedy?
I think
we did.
We
Yeah.
did open for Uncle Ben's Remedy.
Speaking of a great band, a lot of fun.
Yeah. But when we first started, I remember we were doing okay. But now people are saying to me, you guys should be doing the shows. And I think that's what we're doing more and more, is because I think we've elevated the sound of the band and so forth. And just to remind people, we're going to be playing obviously today at the Meters, and then we're going to be playing next week for the Alzheimer's Walk. So Randy, what are your thoughts about that, the Alzheimer's Walk? As I brought it up, and everybody was kind of quiet when we first talked about it, I remember.
Well, I'm glad we're doing it. Mine, obviously we all know somebody who's
Right.
dealt with it or been a caregiver, and in my case, it's a current thing for me. I've been a caregiver for my mom for the past months, and it's a tough thing, and I'd really like folks to get out there and support it. So if you can possibly get out there and support that Alzheimer's Walk, please do it. We got to find a cure for this.
Yeah.
And and it not only helps the people who are suffering from it, but the caregivers too, if you get out there and support it. So it's a personal thing for me. I'm really glad we're doing it.
Right. Howard, how many benefits have you played over the years? I can't count them all.
No, I can't count them all. Back in the when I was with Southern Tier Express, we played a lot of benefits that was hosted by Robin Bailey and her band.
Right.
And we did a lot of benefits and played along with them. Quite a few of them, but it was always fun to do them because of the other bands that were there, other musicians,
Right.
and getting to listen to to other bands and musicians, and also you're helping a good cause,
Right.
which is the biggest thing I think.
Musicians over the years have gotten really bad raps because of drugs and alcohol, but there's so many bands that didn't do that. And like us guys, we're out there and we're supporting like Alzheimer's, or I know there's other fundraisers we've talked about coming up and stuff like that. And almost always organizations, what's the first thing they say? Well, let's get a band and see if they'll donate their time. And that's what we're doing in this case.
And that's fine.
If a band had to charge, we're talking hundreds of dollars that could have gone to research. So, thumbs up to all our brothers and sisters in music, because they're out there helping lots and lots of causes, and this is just one example.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bob, you brought us another song about a winter ago, and remember this was before even Howard joined us.
Yeah.
And you told us about this song, and Randy and I were kind of looking at each other. Okay, we never even heard of the band. So why don't you introduce this next one?
The song is called Stone Walls. It's by a band called Three Tall Pines. And when I heard it, I just loved their music, and I think I played it for you guys till you got sick of it and started playing it with me. And sometimes I just got to do that to get my point across.
Howard, you got to realize that every rehearsal he'd say, there's a song that I'm really interested in, and he kept saying the name of it.
Did you guys listen to that when you go
we
home?
haven't done it
Listen
yet.
to that.
All right, he wants to do it, so we learned it. But I think I want to point out to people that if you were to watch Three Tall Pines, they don't look like us, obviously, but the way they perform is totally different. This is our version of theirs.
Well, I think we take all of our songs and make them fit our agenda,
Right.
how we feel that our tone is.
Yeah.
And
Make it our own.
that's the fun part of music is we can do that with it.
Okay. So this is called what?
This is called Stone Walls.
Stone Walls. And I think you sometimes say it's sort of a nostalgia song, where we're looking back in the country life and how it used to be, and it kind of has that Chautauqua County feel to it, doesn't it?
does.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is Stone Walls by the Three Tall Pines, done by the Midnight Growlers.
chances, my young life, and I never thought I'd see the day. There's houses in the cornfield and falling down barns. The old dirt road was paved. The old dirt road was paved. A long while ago, I rocked on a front porch and I said, "Oh, lemonade." Neighbors passed by, they smiled, stopped and talked of the corn for the weather or the days. Now these times have changed since my young life, and I never thought I'd see the day. There's houses in the cornfield and falling down barns. The old dirt road was paved. The old dirt road was paved. A short while ago, I stopped down a dirt road. I stood in a time of change. Sat down by the stone wall, stared at a front porch falling down, weathered from the rain. Now these times have changed since my young life, and I never thought I'd see the day. There's houses in the cornfield and falling down barns. The old dirt road was paved. The old dirt road was paved.
Stonewalls. Little bit different. That's a little bit more, or even deeper bluegrass, wouldn't you say, than some of the other stuff we do?
Yeah, bluegrass. Yeah, yeah.
So if someone were to come out and see us, they might hear us do that, and then they might hear us do something by the Rolling Stones.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? So you played two different guitars. Why do you play two guitars?
Sound and tuning, and some of the songs that we do. I have one guitar actually dropped a half an octave or half a step and a double D drop, and that's so it gives us that kind of droney sound. That's kind of a cool thing that we use on actually several songs, and so that's part of the fun of the guitar, I think.
There's a lot to guitar playing that a lot of people don't realize. There's the technical side, there's the theory side, and then just things like you say, these special tunings in that. Howard, what's your favorite song that we do so far? Anything that pops out?
That we do?
Yeah. Any song you say, oh, I can't wait till we do that.
It's not one that we're doing today, but I like the Steve Earle, Copperhead Road.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably one of my more favorite ones.
Yeah, you know, when you
I
do those
enjoy
drum
that
rolls in there, it's just great. You know?
Yeah, it's a fun song to play.
Yeah.
And I enjoy listening to it too.
Yeah.
It's
And a lot of these songs, you know, people say, well, I've heard that song, but I don't, it's not like it sticks out in the memory like some of the bigger songs. But the songs we do, someone always comes up and says, thanks for playing that. I used to listen to that when I was in college, or thanks for playing it because, that was something my father liked, or sister, or whatever. And they're not always the top 40 songs, but they're songs that everybody knows. It's hard to explain, right?
I had never heard of Steve Earle or that song until I
really?
come in with you fellas, and we started playing it. And well, the more I listened to it, the more I just enjoy the song. And like I said, it's fun to play.
Well, and for those who are watching right now, a lot of people know that I used to play a lot of Celtic and Irish folk stuff. And so we kind of blend a little bit of that in there. And that particular song, sort of Copperhead Road, actually has sort of a Scottish kind of feel to the thing, even though it's hard rock. And so, I find in music, people say, well, what kind of music do I like? And I'm like you guys, I'm pretty eclectic. There's some stuff I don't care for, when I can't understand the words and screeching and stuff, headbanger stuff I call it. But the Beatles were playing rockabilly. You listen to country music, it's a lot of stuff the Beatles did early on. You listen to a lot of the blues, and that's the old South in the Southern rock stuff, and it's all kind of just runs through everybody's veins. You just can't pull one sound out separate. It's just really cool. It's a lot of good history. We decided in rehearsal that we were going to do this song, and I want to frame it a little bit. On my show, I don't even know what it's been, Justin. A month and a half ago, we had Stephanie Stevens here from the Westfield YWCA. And she was doing a fundraiser, and I mention this because it's still ongoing, for the YWCA in the Ukraine. And I don't have to tell anybody what's going on over there, but the Ukrainian has been in an uproar and just horrible, horrible, horrible conditions. And so we did a little promo for them and raised some funds. And Natalia and I have become friends on Facebook, and she watches this show. So Natalia, if you're watching and you're friends, because I know some of the other folks from Ukraine watch this show, Randy and I do this song together, and we decided that we wanted to dedicate this especially to our friends in the Ukraine, but across the whole world. And Randy, you jump in. What do you think on this song? We haven't even told what the song is yet.
Well, obviously this song can mean a lot of different things to a lot of folks, but I just think that it hits some key thoughts about us as human beings and how we should treat each other, and that's pretty much it for the song for me. That's what it really means about being a decent human being and how to treat each other.
At my house, if you go to my house right now and go to my office, there's a big poster of the guy that wrote this, and maybe y'all have heard of him. His name was John Lennon.
Never heard of him, Doc. No.
And the words are on the poster. And my daughter knew that this was such a special song to me, and the song is Imagine. And that was our father-daughter dance when she got married. So it's a great song. And folks, Julian Lennon just released this not long ago, and we decided to. Well, actually, remember what happened, Randy? Bob said he had to go to the restroom. He left the room, and when he came back, Randy and I had the song all put together.
Don't ever leave. Don't leave practice. See what can happen.
So, anyways, we'd like to do our version of the song "Imagine" by John Lennon.
Something good came out of it. So.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky.
Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Here we go now. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger.
A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Imagine there's no heaven.
It's easy if you try.
No hell below us.
Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine there's no heaven.
It's easy if you try.
I know we stream around the world, and that goes out to all of you out there. You know, a lot of people thought maybe this was kind of a hokey song when they first started it out, but you know, we just can't have enough of all this brotherhood and everybody getting together. And you know, musicians have been on the, I don't want to say the political side of things, but they've been on the political side of things, whether it's songwriting back in the 30s and the 40s and all the Pete Seeger and all his, you know, folk songs that he wrote about things. Music has been really moving and shaping a lot of what people think about, and you know, we do it too. And so we hope that this song is well received out there in the Ukraine and other parts of the world, and that there's still hope, and we support you all.
Absolutely.
So,
All right.
that song always just leaves me kind of, ooh-wee.
Well, maybe we ought to get moving on.
Yeah, we will here shortly. So we still have a few minutes left. We got one more song to go, but you you know, I don't even know if we added up all of our experience, and I'd be afraid to add it up, but it's a lot of years of experience that's sitting here in the music world, as there are, you know, out there, there are folks that are watching this. But I do encourage people to get out and listen to live music. Get out there and support your venues where there's music because, well, we don't depend on it, but there are a lot of musicians that do depend on your tickets and buying a meal or a beverage or whatever. And they're doing it for you. They're doing it for themselves as well because we said this is something that just stays with you and you can't get rid of it. But get out there and support live music. But before we go to this next song, Bob, what's a word of advice you would give to somebody who's coming up in the music world? Anything?
I would say enjoy our local talent here. We've got some just incredible musicians, and they're all here, and they're all so willing to help anybody that wants to help. I mean, I can't tell you how many people have helped me along the way. You're in an area that's just got incredible talent and people that are willing to help. So
young people go out and listen to the guys that know what they're doing. Ask for help.
Absolutely. Go listen and put your eyes on them, glue your eyes to them, and soak in everything you can, because that's
we used to do the same thing when we were kids up in Buffalo. Go see all the good bands. Howard, anything that you'd add as a drummer?
Don't give up.
What's that?
Don't give up.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I know personally there was times when I said I had enough of this, you know. But you can't give up. Once you get a taste of it,
Yep.
and know how enjoyable it can be, that if somebody just is coming up learning how to you know, play an instrument or something, don't give up on it.
All right.
You know, I mean, maybe that instrument you're learning to play in high school isn't exactly what you want to do, but I mean,
the
once
foundation.
you get the music in
Yep.
your blood, it's there, and you don't want to
Right.
let it go.
Okay, so we're going to do a song, folks, for you right now, and I think this will take us out because it's a pretty long song.
It's a long song.
And I just want to thank you guys. We're the Midnight Growlers. You can go on Facebook and just put Midnight Growlers and you'll find us. We keep our schedule on there. And so, Randy, you brought this song to the band, as I recall.
I did.
And bugged us till we started to learn it.
I did. I kept kind of mumbling it and trying to sing it. And finally,
Here we are.
we're doing it. This is our first time ever doing it for anybody.
This is our first time doing it.
So,
Yeah.
you know, this
no
is still a
pressure.
work in progress. So no pressure at all,
I
guys.
love it that way. Go ahead. So what's it called?
Truckin', Grateful Dead.
Okay, take it away, Bob.
Truckin', got my chips cashed in. Keep truckin' like the Doodah Man. Together, more or less in line. Just keep a truckin' on. Here's a neon flashing marquees on a main street. Chicago, New York, Detroit, it's all on the same street. A typical city involved, a typical daydream. Hang it up and see what tomorrow brings. Dallas got a soft machine. Oh, Houston goes to New Orleans. New York's got the ways and means, but just won't let you be. Most of the cats you meet on the street speak of true love. Most of the time they're sitting and crying at home. One of these days they know they better get going. Out of the door and down the streets all alone. A truckin' like a Doodah Man once told me you got to play your hand. Sometimes cards ain't worth a dime if you don't lay 'em down. Sometimes Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me, what a long, strange trip it's been. What in the world ever became of Sweet Jane? She lost her spark, who knows she isn't the same. Living on reds, vitamin C, and cocaine. All Frank can say is, ain't it a shame? Trucking up to Buffalo, been thinking you got to mellow slow. Takes time, you pick a place to go and just keep a trucking on. Sitting and staring out of the hotel window. Got a tip, I gotta kick the door in again. I'd like to get some sleep before I travel, but if you got a warrant, I guess you're gonna come in. I busted down on Bourbon Street, set up like a bowling pin, knocked down, gets to wearing thin, they just won't let you be. Sick of hanging around, you like to travel. You're tired of traveling, don't want to settle down. I guess they can't revoke your soul for trying. Get out of the door of the line and look all around. Sometimes the light's all shining on me. Other times I can barely see. Lately it occurs to me, what a long, strange trip it's been. Trucking, I'm a-going home. Whoa, whoa, baby, back where I belong. Back home, sit down and patch my bones and get back a trucking on.
Well, we've got just 15 seconds left. Guys, thanks for joining me this morning. We're the Midnight Growlers. We're going to be over at Meters today from 1 to 4. We're going to be at Point Gratiot Park for the Alzheimer's Walk October 1 next week from 12 to 2. I did it right this time. I'm Doc Hamels signing off. I hope you enjoyed the music. Have a great weekend and take care, everybody. We'll see you now.